Harry here and welcome back to Other Worlds Than These. So, I have combined my new background with my old background and I've got a new little addition here. I've got a nice display that says Other Worlds Than These and I quite like it, so if you want to see it in future videos, let me know. I just want to say thank you for all the love that my readathon of the Hunger Games series has got, so thank you very much. And I said at the end of that video that I would do separate reviews of each of the Hunger Games books. So this is going to be my review of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So if for some reason you've been living under a rock and you don't know what The Hunger Games is about, let me break it down for you. So The Hunger Games is about a dystopian North America now known as Panem, and every single year an event called The Hunger Games takes place, where from each of the 12 districts of Panem, one boy and one girl between the age of 12 and 18 is chosen to compete in the Hunger Games, where they basically just fight to the death and there can only be one winner. The concept of this book is actually really terrifying. I read this during my readathon in 4.5 hours, which is mental. I will never be able to understand that. But this book was just absolutely fantastic. Something I did mention in the video, despite me giving this 5 stars, it's absolutely fantastic. This is the sort of book that does frustrate me a little bit, because when it is about a single character from their perspective in something that involves the possibility of death, you know that they can't die in the book. So books like The Hunger Games, Divergent, these sorts of books, if it's from Katniss's perspective in The Hunger Games or Triss's perspective in Divergent's case, you know that Katniss and Triss can't die, because then the narrative would just stop, which I've never seen done before. It's possibly doable, but I've never seen it done before. Despite this being quite predictable, and you know who's going to win the Hunger Games, it's still so thrilling. For a book to be so thrilling and so good, despite it being really, really predictable and you know exactly what's going to happen, it's just absolutely fantastic. So, let's get into the characters. Katniss Everdeen is the main character, and the story is told through her perspective. She comes from District 12, which is a very poor district. Also, she lives with her mum and her little sister Prim, and their relationship as a family, specifically Katniss and Prim, is just absolutely fantastic. I thought that Katniss was really badass. Even though she's sort of an emotionless rock in this book, in Catching Fire and Mockingjay, she sort of develops into someone who has a lot of feelings, and I really like that about Katniss's development. So Peter Malark is Katniss's love interest in this book, and one of the guys in the famous love triangle that is Katniss, Peter and Gale. Katniss would not have survived without him. Like, Peter, as well as Prim, gave Katniss a reason to win the Hunger Games. And I think he does become a bit more useful and valuable in the future books, but in the Hunger Games he's just sort of there. I'm gonna get rid of that spoiler. Yeah, he's just a bit meek. I think that's a good way to describe him. Gale Hawthorne, I think that's his last name. He is like the hunk, and he's the other part of this love triangle. I didn't really like him, but I also loved him, but I kind of didn't. Does that make sense? That's all I have to say about Gale. I didn't really care for him. Rue, I loved Rue. I thought Rue was so sweet and so nice. Effie Trinket is the best character in the Hunger Games. I am obsessed with Effie. I mean, Effie is from the capital, and she just brings so much humor, and I feel like the series would have been really boring if Effie hadn't been in it, and she's very funny. Haymitch is just a mood. Everyone loves Haymitch. And then someone who was my favourite for about 20 pages was Caesar Flickerman. He is the sort of game show host, and he's very entertaining to read about. Then there's President Coriolanus Snow. That guy is Satan's child. That's all I have to say. But with that being said, I'm really looking forward to reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I have ordered, and I have a video planned for that, so you'll have to wait and see what that is. But I hated Snow. Not so much in this book, he didn't really have much of a role in this book, but in Catching Fire and Mockingjay I wanted to rip his throat out. So those are... My background just fell down, BRB. Hopefully that shouldn't fall down again. So those are all of the main characters in the Hunger Games, which I really love. I won't get into any more spoilers about the plot, but oh my god, it was fantastic. It was so good. 5 stars on Goodreads, absolutely loved it. I think it's now my favourite dystopian, apart from Shatter-Me. Shatter-Me is just fantastic. I love Tahira Mafi's writing style, but The Hunger Games is a very close second, and I absolutely love it. So that was my review of Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, comment below some video suggestions I'd like to see next on this channel, subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, and turn on post notifications by ringing that bell if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video. My Goodreads link is in the description below, as is my Instagram, and I will see you for another video. Bye!